What a banger of an episode.
Whoo-wee!
Uh, still starting a little early, so we won't dive too much into it. But
No, we'll
oh
give people a chance
man,
to come in, but God,
that was so good.
what a ripper! What a ripper!
It
What a good
was
one!
absolutely amazing.
So good. Literally everything that was. It was so George R. R. Martin in every way. It was so. It's wicked.
Oh, George R. R. Martin.
Yeah, oh my God, it had everything. It had dragon. It had political intrigue. It had really uncomfortable sexual things that were
Oh my
nasty.
god, that was the worst. That was
So
honestly the worst.
I would watch Damon and Rhaenyra, Cersei and Jamie get it on a million times.
Together,
And yeah,
all at once, big orgy.
rather than
Hello, I'm sorry you had to come in at that moment.
it just that was so awful.
That
It was
was
so awful. Oh,
that
oh my God.
That was one of the cringiest sexual scenes I've seen in Game of Thrones in
That
a
was one of the
long
cringiest
time.
sexual things I have ever seen. Like, ever.
And the way it progressed,
Oh,
she
it
just
just
sits
got.
in and puts her feet up on the table. And then,
And
oh,
then.
you want to know a little bit more? Well, those stockings seem uncomfortable.
Uh, uh,
Oh,
uh,
all right, all right.
focus.
Let's
We'll
focus.
get.
Let's start
We'll
from
get there.
yeah.
We'll get there.
We'll start from the beginning. So, this was a great episode.
This
It was
episode
really
was
good.
awesome. It was so awesome. It
I
was
felt like
so
last
good.
episode was a little bland, which if you watched our last one, you know. I wasn't a huge fan of it. Oh, okay. I'm glad you recalled because otherwise,
That would have been
yeah,
very, yeah,
yeah, the foot thing just freaked me out so much.
yeah, no. Did not, didn't like that. Nope, nope, did not like that.
But yeah, last episode was a little slow, and then I kind of expected this one to be a little slow. I didn't expect it to be as interesting as it was. I thought we were gonna have kind of another setup going on like the last one, a lot more political drama, but we actually got quite a bit of action.
Literally, we had all kinds of stuff going on in this episode. And this is interesting. This is kind of like what um in the book, like the king dies, and then there's like these 4 days, and then Aegon is crowned.
Yeah,
And in the book, you really don't. There's no description of anything that like went on during the 4 days, so they could really kind of write what they wanted to write.
yeah.
Um,
There were a couple things that I don't really know how I feel about them changing. So the episode was great. So let's get the bad stuff out of the way. Well, that I felt as a book reader I
okay,
didn't quite like.
okay,
Number one, the fact that um, Hightower was like in control of everything, and Allison was just this innocent pawn in his whole game. But in the books, it's really Allison that puts this plan in motion to put Aegon on the throne. She isn't just like this innocent bystander. Basically, she does it for good reason. She fears for the life of her children. She thinks Rhaenyra is going to take the throne, kill her children, so that there's no competition. So she does it to protect her children.
mm-hmm.
But she is the one in charge of this rebellion. Like, she acted like, what do you mean you guys plotted this all along? No, you're supposed to be the one that pushes this forward. And then the other thing I didn't quite like was Aegon. Because Aegon's whole thing in the book is not that necessarily, he doesn't want it because I don't know what he's doing.
Being a creep.
Yeah, but he doesn't want it because he is too honorable. He says that no, it's her right, it's her birthright. She deserves this. I don't want to do it. And Allison then goes on to basically manipulate him by saying everything she fears, Don't you see what's going to happen? She's going to come here. She's going to kill you, your brother, and your sister, so that there's no competition. And Allison kind of brainwashes him and manipulates him into going along with this and becoming king.
Mm-hmm.
And they change that quite a bit to where Allison and Aegon, their whole dynamic kind of shifted, and it was more. I can't remember his first name, but the Hand of the King Hightower. Otto was like pulling the strings. It was really the whole council because everyone apparently knew about it.
Right. There's the.
I did not like it.
Let me. So, I'm gonna go on what you were saying first. The foot thing. We'll talk about the foot thing. We'll talk about it when we get there. Because I actually have thoughts about the whole foot thing, other than the fact that it was really disgusting. So, I agree that it still seems to be Otto pulling the strings, whereas in the book, by this point, it's very much Alicent doing all these things.
Yeah.
But I think this is the episode where Alicent has now decided that she's gonna take control of the things.
Yeah.
Because she has that conversation with Rhaenys, where Rhaenys is like, you literally are doing everything for all these men. And that is all you've ever done. You've never wanted to do anything for yourself. And then she finds out about her father's like spy network thing and all of that. And she finds Aegon first, and she's like, nope, we're going to do this my way. And I think this is going forward, she is going to be the one taking control and making the decisions. But I do agree in that she's being portrayed as much more sympathetic.
Yeah.
But they did introduce the element of, well, they were friends, and there's still that, like, bond there, or the whatever with the friendship that they had that's kind of making her reluctant, which does kind of supposed to make it more compelling, but it also makes her a lot less evil.
That's what I mean. I think you need that there. Go Cersei. Just make her go all evil.
I mean, unless they're going to
they might build up to that, yeah.
I mean, maybe they're just like, we're building up to that.
Fuck yes. Rhaenys was such a fucking badass.
She was
Let's
awesome.
just talk about that real quick. All right, I can't wait to talk about that because holy shit, that final scene was just so chef's kiss. So good.
Just boom, dragon.
Like as soon as she walked in there, I even said it. I'm like, God, I hope she just like straight up crashes this whole coronation. And they fucking did it.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
And then she's just up there on the dragon, full armor. Basically has her dragon just scream "fuck you" in their face.
Yep.
Like, oh my god. It's just that scene is one of my favorite scenes in this whole season so far.
It was so awesome. I love Rhaenys' character in this show. She's so, like, even when she's talking to Alicent, and Alicent is like trying to manipulate her and get her on her side, and she's just like, what are you talking about? You live. She basically owns her. She's like, you live in this tiny little prison. You're doing everything to serve all the men in your life. What about you? What do you want? Why don't you take the power? And then just
At the end, it
it's
was just like, bitch, I have the power.
right. Like I don't need to be queen. I don't need any of this. I'm. Y'all can fuck right off.
So off topic, where did you get that shirt?
I ordered this online. I got. You can get it anywhere. 80stees.com has it. Amazon has it.
Amazon's got everything.
Amazon has everything. I mean, you could get it on Amazon. You can get it on 80s Tees. T Public probably has it.
Mm.
So, yeah. Or find it online. That's where it is. And Melee's. What a cool looking dragon.
Right.
Melee's looks badass. Like all the horns and the bone and everything. Like Melee's looks tough and scary.
You know, I was thinking too when we saw that. I'm pretty sure she's the dragon that's featured on like the art for House of the Dragon.
I don't think so.
No,
The,
she looked
on
just
the, on
like
the banner?
it. Yeah. No,
Like-
no, like the art for House of the Dragon.
Like when we click on the show?
Yeah.
That's Cyrax.
Is that?
Yeah. The
Uh,
gold.
it-
The
Cyrax looks skinnier. Either way, um, that was my favorite part of the episode. It was just so awesome, and it comes down to, uh, I can't remember who said it in Game of Thrones. You know, a throne doesn't give you power. Power gives you power, or something like that. Oh, it was Tywin. Tywin says something along those lines. Yeah,
yeah.
and that's that dragon right there.
Yeah,
Um,
that's Cyrax.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Melanie.
Oh, yes. Hello, Melanie.
Welcome.
Does Tywin say it or does Cersei say it?
I thought
To
Tywin.
Littlefinger.
No, I thought Tywin did because I think he was talking to Tyrion, and they talk about Tyrion asked him, why didn't he take the throne? He could have had the power because he had every opportunity to during the rebellion.
Mm.
And he goes on to say, like, do you think a throne gives you power?
See, I thought Cersei said it to Littlefinger when they're having that conversation, and then she's just like, guards, kill him. And they talk about power, and he...
I think it might crop up a couple times, but I know there's the conversation with Tywin because Tywin, like, stays in the background because he has the power. He knows he has the power, and he doesn't need a throne to prove that to anyone, basically.
Right. The BF and I were joking that they probably just finished finally getting those repairs when Cersei blew it up again. Well,
That's so great.
that is kind of funny. If it was the Great Sept, it would have made sense.
It did look like the Great Sept.
It kind of does. I just love how ancient
You-
Roman the dragon pit looks. It's so cool.
All right, we gotta talk. This is everyone. As soon as they join in, they gotta talk about the foot fetish. We're gonna save it.
Okay.
Let's just go to it.
Okay, the foot. We'll just talk about the foot fetish thing.
Fucking Quentin Tarantino over here.
Okay. Number 1, it was gross. Number 2, it was gross.
And number 3, what the fuck?
Um,
Ugh.
So I think the thing that was not only disturbing about the foot fetish thing wasn't just because, like, he's got a foot fetish, but you literally have the queen. She's the queen.
Right now, the most powerful person in the kingdom, because the king is dead.
But she's still a woman and using sexuality
Yeah.
to gain favor, get
To
information.
hire a hitman.
Yeah, like, you're the queen. And you are letting this dude jerk off to your feet for information or for a job.
Yeah.
Like that it like
It was just
she's literally prostituting herself. She's the queen and she's like the fact that her her power is still everything is still tied to
her power is meaningless in the end.
everything is tied to I need to do this for this man.
Yeah.
To get what I need and I'm going to subjugate myself to this man for this. Like it's she's still doing like the same things. Like
I mean, maybe that white worm was like Varys on crack. She knew everything like a couple hours after it happened.
which also I thought it was very funny that Laris said, you know, there's spiders all over the Red Keep.
Yeah,
He
and
called them
wasn't there a
spiders.
spider on his cane?
I I didn't see it clearly enough, but it was definitely an insect or an arachnid of some kind.
Okay.
I can't confirm because I didn't see it closely enough. It could have been a spider.
He didn't need to have that to give the information. No, he didn't. And it also really disturbs me because he didn't have to like tell the queen what to do. Like she just walked in, took off her shoes, put her feet on the table,
Well,
and all. So how many more times has she done this for him?
yeah,
Like, ugh.
yeah. It was definitely the touching himself right in front of her.
Yeah.
Like
Uh,
the power dynamic of that is it's just still as a woman that's still the only way you can do anything
yeah.
is through that. Like it's yuck. It's gross. It was gross.
It was.
Like and you know that clearly not much changes because Cersei does the same thing 100 years later. 170 years later.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's like the only bargaining chip that women have.
Yeah.
And not much has changed today. Women still do this shit.
Yeah, feet pick online. I mean, and that's not shaming anyone. I mean, do you? Shit, people will buy pictures of my feet for like $100 a pop. Oh man, I would do nothing but just live stream my feet all day.
Just
Just tape a GoPro to my leg facing down on my foot. There we go. 24/7.
probably could.
Oh, it's a firefly on his cane. Okay. Maybe that has something to do with his like trademark arsony. Like he loves to just burn people. Like what is that?
He's a weird dude.
That's the way he does it. He just burns down the place.
We
No
have-
evidence.
Well, I mean, arson is very hard to prove, so it's not a bad method.
That is true. That is true.
It's pretty straight. It's pretty solid. It's a good method.
I just feel like it would be not as effective back then because like everything was like hardwood and stone. I feel like it'd be hard to burn that stuff, you know?
But very easy to trap someone inside.
You got me there.
Plus, tapestries burn very well.
Oh, well, yeah. But then that just burns up and then, you know, everything else would be fine.
Candles, hardwood, it'll burn eventually.
It will, I'm just saying. He obviously knows what he's doing.
Well, yeah.
He's done this before. It looked like a honeybee. Oh, this is... We might have to pop it open, just double check now. We got a lot of different theories.
Yeah, maybe it was a B. Um,
I'm sure if it doesn't go back to something that was mentioned earlier on, something is going to come up in the next episode because the next episode is the season finale.
well, there's a reason why the camera showed that to the audience.
Yeah.
Like there is a reason why that's there.
I
So
just feel like I have to go back because it was probably mentioned with him before.
probably,
Something
yeah.
about whatever insect that is.
Mm-hmm.
We just have to go back and look what insect it was.
Um, I'm gonna also just go ahead and agree with Dan that I don't really like the White Worm's accent either.
Yeah. It sounded like she was trying to mimic Tyrion's girlfriend,
Shay.
Shay. It was kind of like the same accent.
It was, but it wasn't. It sounded like she was trying to do an accent that didn't sound like any kind of accent. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that sounds, Moroccan, or that sounds Thai. It didn't sound like anything that you've heard of before.
Wasn't she supposed to be from, wasn't she like Tyroshi or something? Because I think that's what Shay was. So it would kind of fit there.
I don't think she sounded exactly like Shay. Like when I
Not exactly, but I mean,
when-
everyone from a country doesn't sound exactly alike. You know?
No, but I don't think they even have the same accent.
I don't know.
But
I guess her
either way-
accent didn't bother me that much.
It bugged me out a little bit just because it just not that it bugged me out not because I couldn't place it to something. It bugged me out because I just thought it sounded bad.
Oh,
Like not like I'm cool if like you want to make up an accent that's like this is what we think the Tyroshi would sound like.
hmm.
I love that idea. I just don't think it sounded good.
Oh, see, I didn't.
It
I
just
didn't hate it. I thought it was fine. Like it didn't like do anything for me. But parts of the there's a string in his actions. Oh, Pirates of the Caribbean too. Littlefinger's accent.
I loved Littlefinger's accent.
Yeah,
It's very, very subtly Irish.
I know.
It was great. Chaos is a ladder. Yeah, he was great.
You do it really well too.
Oh,
you get-
Littlefinger?
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
you get that like subtle Irish.
Just a little undertone there.
The witch, the sea goddess. Oh man, who was she?
Calypso.
Thank you. Yeah, Calypso. Every season he changed it. Oh man, see, I didn't watch the series enough to really notice.
I think the problem with Littlefinger was that by season 6,
Yeah, season 6 he dies, I think.
once they ran out of book material with Littlefinger, they didn't know what to do with him, and I feel like the actor was like playing the part going, Littlefinger wouldn't do this. He's not that stupid. This is bullshit.
Though couldn't recall, it's been a few years. Oh, speaking of a few years, there was one other thing that across this entire season I have issue with. It's the fact that Sir Kristen has not aged a day. It has been somewhere around 20 years since the beginning of the season. Everyone else looks older. Literally everyone has aged. Sir Kristen? No. Sir Kristen is a vampire. Confirmed. He's a Bolton. He is a vampire. End of story.
He's Bolton.
Yes. Because it was the Boltons.
Yeah, that's the theory. Yeah, Roose is a vampire. Or Damon.
Or Damon. Yeah, he really hasn't aged either, has he?
No, he hasn't.
He changed his hairstyle. That's
Well,
about it.
maybe it's because Kristen is Dornish. Maybe Dornishmen don't age.
Maybe? I don't think that's a thing, but I guess we'll go with it.
Why not?
Alright then.
Maybe it's like that saying, "Black don't crack."
Dorn don't. I don't know. I'll think
Prune?
about it.
I don't know.
He's got a temper. The man is crazy.
The
He's
man,
psychotic.
the man is an asshole.
He really is. I was so hoping that
Dude, he
for
just straight
nothing
up
else.
boom killed Beesbury. Like that dude, he smashed that dude into his little ball.
Yeah.
Like his little um small council marble ball. He just was like, dude, sit down. Dorn ain't torn. There
Yeah.
you go,
Dorn.
Melanie got it. Dorn
Yeah.
ain't torn. Yeah. Maybe that's what it is.
He's too lame to be a vampire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
The man.
Damon's not
man.
though.
Damon could be a vampire. I could
But
see that.
Damon's Targaryen. Like maybe they've got magic blood. Maybe they don't. There's not a like.
Rhaenyra. Viserys. Whew, that man did not age well.
No.
He has no Dornish blood in him.
No, but he probably had leprosy, so
Yeah.
that's a good excuse.
Yeah. You know, I know a lot of people would probably be sad that Viserys died, but I think if anything, be relieved. He's in a better place.
Yeah. One thing I really liked about this episode was was the music. In the very, very beginning, I loved the music, the little piano echoes of like the main themes of Game of Thrones, but they were not, they were like sad
Mournful
plays,
like,
super slow. I loved the music in this episode so much. It was so good. I loved all those slow, still, like almost black and white shots of the throne room, and then
the halls,
the hall, the small council room.
stairway.
Yeah, like I just thought all of that was so good. Loved. What a way to start an episode.
It is. And honestly, I don't notice a lot of that because I kind of take it for granted now. Because there's one thing that they have done consistently from the first episode of Game of Thrones to now is that the music is always just on point. It is so well done. All the music for Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, I don't think they've ever done poorly on a score.
No, the music's always so on point. It's always so good. But I just loved all those opening sequences. No people, no nothing. Just these still black and white shots with the piano. It was just so good. I was like, as soon as the episode started and we saw all that, I was like, here we go. The king's dead. Oh, man. Oh, man.
I know. So I guess another book difference, and this didn't bother me that they didn't include this, but just for anyone to know, because they didn't talk about how much time passed. So the reason why they were locking everyone in the black cells, which you can probably figure out, is that they didn't want it getting out that the king was dead. This was supposed to be on the queen's orders because they wanted to plot how they're going to get Aegon on the throne. Yada yada. But in the book, Viserys' body is laying in his bedchamber for 4 days.
Yeah.
I think it might have been longer. I think they mentioned that. I think it was up to like 6 before they finally. Either way, it starts to smell, is what they mentioned.
Yeah.
Said like the whole tower was beginning to smell of death. And it was just one of those things that Game of Thrones does so well, is just those like cringy, awful, disgusting moments. And I was really surprised that they didn't include that. That, oh yeah, we're just gonna lock the king away and pretend everything's fine for the next week while smells drift around the castle.
People are like,
What's that smell? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't smell anything.
I was thinking about this. I thought it was like, yeah.
It was like a week.
Which is what happened to Stalin when Stalin died.
Oh, really?
Well, it kind of. When Stalin died, his corpse sat in his office for like 3 days because everyone was just too scared to like go in there to like check on him because they didn't know if they like pissed him off what would happen to them, so they didn't want to risk it. And then it was like 3 days and they were just like, I think someone needs to go in there.
3 days, and they're like, someone has to go in there, and they're like, give it a little bit longer.
um, that small council meeting though, Otto Hightower just being like, no, no one's leaving. I know that man's dead, but no one's leaving until we figure this shit out. Um,
Don't worry, he's dead. He won't mind.
I loved that the Lannister when the King's Guards stand up and they like draw swords, he just like gets up and he's like, I'm moving. I don't want to be here for this. Mm-mm. Um,
Oh, and
that Lannister guy cracks me up. He's such a scumbag.
he is so great.
He's so funny.
He barely says anything, but he always makes an
He
impression.
does, and he always makes these faces and everything, and I'm just like, oh my god, the Lannisters, they're so funny. They're so great.
They are. And Tom, you definitely, definitely go watch this episode. This episode was maybe not the best overall, but it had the best scene in the season so far
Melee's.
for me. Yes.
Melee's in the dragon pit.
Oh, it was so good.
Dan, spoilers, Tom. Spoilers.
Who the woman and the man they took down was? The woman and the man. Wait, took down who? Talking taking them
Oh,
down
to the black cells.
to the
So
black.
the one woman was Alicent's like lady in waiting.
Yep.
No, the rest of them were just like a bunch of servants who are being held in the black cells so they don't tell anyone that the king's dead.
Mm-hmm. So it wasn't supposed to be like they marched them all down there at once. It was actually supposed to be like little by little, people would hear rumors or they would start, uh, they might smell a smell in the tower and say, I don't think the king's okay. So if the king's guard or someone heard that, they would just grab them and bring them down to the black cells so that they couldn't spread rumors around.
Right.
So the first lady that was walking down there was Alicent's lady in waiting, and then the rest were just all random servants and castle folk who may have heard something or started thinking
Talking
that
shit.
they may know something about what happened to the king.
Um.
No, of the highborn people, one I thought was a Stark, but I didn't know who the other.
Oh. In the throne room.
Yeah.
The Fells was the woman. She said, we're the Fells. And then...
The other guy, he appeared in another episode,
I know.
and I can't remember who he was, but I don't think he was a Stark.
No, he's not the Stark. He's not the Baratheon. Because we saw the Baratheon in a previous episode. Highgarden?
I think it was.
No, because Highgarden are... Highgarden are
Are
Hightower loyalists. Oh my god, sorry.
oh, are they?
And the Riverlands.
Oh, okay. So I guess we'll have to double check that who they were, because I know they do mention him in a previous episode when he comes to court.
Maybe he is a Lannister.
A Lannister was mentioned. Yeah, but I feel like they would bend the knee, especially since he was on the small count. There was another Lannister on the small council.
Yeah.
So I'm sure the Lannisters are kind of
Maybe
all
he
in
had a
on.
sigil on him somewhere and we just didn't notice.
Maybe, but yeah, I think Lannisters would definitely know. Like all the Lannisters are probably in on it.
They usually are.
Mm-hmm.
You're not a Lannister if you don't have your hands in some plots.
I definitely think he was a lord of some lesser house that, like, not as big as Starks or Targaryens or anything.
Not one of the major houses.
Yeah. Are
Um,
you gonna Google it real
I'm
quick?
gonna see. Yeah.
Yeah, the Lannister wasn't in that scene. Well, the Lannister from the council. Yeah, he wasn't.
Um,
Yeah, the people taking a knee.
this
Do
was
the
episode
falls have to do with Winterfell? Um, I do think they're from the north. So I guess that they're. I think they're Northmen, but I don't know if they have a connection with the Starks particularly. Lannister was knowing that the king was dead. Was it the Lannister on the council? Maybe. Yeah,
I'm just
I'm
trying to
not
find
sure.
out. Ba-da-dum.
Where are you doing the Wikipedia page?
Yeah, I'm just looking to see if um this article says the future king enjoys spending his time watching death matches to be between enslaved children, a fact that we learn in a scene that is at the same time horrifying and reminiscent of Gravity Falls' famous baby fights.
You're gonna bring Gravity Falls into this?
That's what the article said.
That
They likened it to the baby fights from Gravity Falls.
that's another great thing we can talk about though. While you look that up, was the children fighting was fucked up,
The children fighting was super fucked up.
and that made me really like the White Worm because she was trying to stop that.
Yeah, she very
Kind of
much
made
kind
me,
of echoes Varys
yeah.
in that way. Like she's trying to honestly do good for the people.
Mm-hmm. Which, it's kind of like the drug cartels. Kill one head of the serpent and another spawns.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
So maybe he took her out, but now it's just gonna continue.
Someone else is
It's not a
gonna
person; it's a movement. Viserys inherits that.
Varys.
Varys. Everyone's name is so close.
Mm.
Yeah, the kid fighting pit is just man, that they sharpen their, which makes me wonder. So they were so they talked about how they like file their teeth down and make them grow out their nails and stuff. So in Game of Thrones, when we meet Jack and Hagar, he's with Biter,
Who
right?
has
Who has the filed down teeth
teeth?
and everything. And
Yeah, yeah.
I'm wondering if the kid fighting pits were never shut down and maybe he like grew up in that and that's why he has his teeth like that if it's like a callback. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought about Biter too, and I was like, "Oh, is
That's
that a
kind of,
connection thing?"
so maybe it wasn't Biter's fault, man. He didn't know. He
Maybe
didn't
he
know
was a
better.
child
Yeah,
fighter.
he was a child fighter. New King and Patchai. Yes.
I'm trying to figure
The
this
the
out.
anime character.
Aemon, the anime character.
Yes. Aim in anime.
Eh,
He really looks how I would picture Euron. Like how I pictured Euron from the books,
yeah, he's got more of that vibe
right?
about him, except not as charming. Also, I love the Eric and Arik, the twins.
Oh yeah. And what the fuck was with him just like leaving his brother behind there?
I think he just got engaged in the fight.
No, the other one just kind of looked down at him as his brother's fighting. He's just like, eh, not my fight. I'm out. Later.
Yeah, I can't. We'd have to go back and like look at the episode to see who the lord was that refused to bend the knee.
Uh,
Um, um,
Anything else you want to talk about from this episode?
uh, I just, it was so good. Um, it's just, I am a little disappointed that Alicent is not the super schemer. I'm hoping she will become the super schemer. Um,
I think she kind of has to.
she she's now taken the step to, after her conversation with after her conversation with Laris Footmonger, um, she has now taken steps to destroy her father's um
Laris Quentin Tarantino.
um she's destroying the spy network because her father is using it. I think she's going to start trying to take control away from her father. Um so it'll be interesting. But I like Otto Hightower as like the big bad. But it
Hmm.
does take away from Alicent being like the big bad. Um So we'll just have to see how it plays out, I guess. I'm hoping maybe she'll develop into it. Um, and in the book, like Aegon is not such a scum.
Uh, yeah, he's not.
So that whole thing,
That's what I mean. Aegon, like, was refusing to take the throne for, like, the right reasons.
yeah, in the book, in the show, they've kind of made him a spoiled, rotten,
Rapist, child, fighter, gambler
degenerate
guy. Yeah.
loser. Um, and then you've got Aemond over here being like, I should be the king. I do all the things the king should do. Um,
Any thoughts on Friday, movie or TV show? I think we were going to do a Lord of the Rings movie.
I think either Lord of the Rings or Fantastic Beasts, one of the two.
Well, we can't do Fantastic Beasts.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Um, yeah, I think
I mean, we could and then talk about our reaction,
yeah, nah, we can. Um,
but to stream it on Twitch, we would have to
yeah,
do something
I think we're probably gonna stick with the Tolkien for now.
just to stick with it.
Oh, I also really liked that. Uh, Blackfire looks awesome.
Blackfire did look awesome.
Blackfire looked really cool, and um, Aegon's crown really does very much look like the crown that's described in Martin's universe and what the illustrations have like shown it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Um so I just really liked the attention to detail there. Like just how that stuff looked. And then at the very end it just seemed like Aegon was being seduced by the power of the fact that he is king, whereas he's like,
And
I
then got
don't.
a huge fucking reality check.
Yep. Yep. Ah, Melee's is such a cool dragon.
She is. They really outdid themselves with the dragons
The
in
dragons look
this.
so good, and they've done it so well that like when that dragon is on screen, you know which dragon it is.
Hmm.
Like you instantly know which dragon it is. Um,
I don't know. It's such a good episode. They definitely diverge from the book a little bit, but
makes me
they
miss.
didn't do it in the same way that they did. They still included everything. They just kind of rearranged the story a little bit. Like I
Yeah,
think they're getting to the same spot, but they just took a different path.
Yeah, for certain things, they definitely change things.
But at least all the characters are there that were mentioned in the book, and everything's happening the way
And
it should.
and everything is happening, and the characters are acting within character.
Yeah,
Um, so that's a plus. No one's acting out of character
that's true.
like other things we've seen. So that's nice.
Did
Um,
did everyone watch the preview for next week's episode?
yeah, did anyone see the preview for next week's episode? Because
Because
speaking of dragons,
oh, that one I'm excited for. That one looks
ooh,
so good.
I have a theory about that, who that is. Um, However, I am just gonna say it. I miss the sausage boy. Where is he? Where's Caraxes?
No, I
Where's
did. Oh yeah, Dan. I know you don't like watching the preview.
Where's
I
my
can't help
long
it.
sausage boy?
He'll be there.
My squeaky
Melanie, what
man.
do you think of the preview?
Yeah, Melanie, what did you think? I'm curious.
It just looks like they're setting up for a crazy finale.
Hi, Boba.
And unfortunately, we're not get next season. They pretty much got all the politics out of the way this season. Next season is pretty much just going to be straight action with a little politics, dabbled here and there.
You're gonna still have politics, but yeah, there's gonna be a lot more battling and fighting and dragons.
Yeah, a lot more people getting chopped in half in mysterious caves. Older cousin telling princess
That they're heading for war.
war. Oh yeah, they're heading for war.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely happening.
Oh, I'm so ready for it.
Me too. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait for all these dragons. All these dragons.
Introduce better so I can follow without having already read. Um, you know what? I will give you that. They definitely didn't give you a lot of information on all the characters, which is a shame, but at the same time, I really don't know how they would have done that without making the season like 30 episodes probably because there's a lot of characters.
And what do you fill that time up with? Do
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I
true.
mean? You have to, if you're gonna introduce these, you introduce these characters, but you also have to tell a story
Yeah.
and not meander around in the Southlands and then teleport to an elf city and then teleport to Mordor
That's true.
after you just asked out Galadriel and she rejected you, which hurts my soul.
That's true.
Bad fan fiction is what that was.
Um,
This is not bad fan fiction.
the difference between Game of Thrones and this, number one, I think they were kind of like on the chopping block with HBO, where maybe they weren't sure if they were gonna get another season or if they had to really make this good, so they were kind of under pressure.
I don't know. I thought the characters introduced fine. I thought they were fine.
Some of the main ones, but then there's a lot of other little characters that are just kind of there.
Yeah, but that happened in Game of Thrones too. I think it was just a long time ago and people don't remember what it was like, because I remember watching season 1 of Game of Thrones and people saying, I don't know who half these people are. I can't keep track of all these people.
Well, I mean, I'm a bad judge. I read the books before, so I knew who everyone was. So I really
Right,
can't.
but Dan, when I watched season 1 of Game of Thrones, I had not yet read the book. So I didn't know who anyone was. I watched season 1, then I read all the books. And I remember people saying, like, I can't keep track of all these people. I can't keep track of this. I can't keep track of this.
Mm.
So I don't necessarily know that House of the Dragon is doing it worse.
I think there's more characters to keep track of.
I don't think it's that there's more characters. I think the problem that people are having is that a lot of the characters have very similar names. I think that's the problem.
Maybe that, and a
Because
lot of them do look alike.
you had Game of Thrones, you had Jamie, Cersei, Robert, Eddard, Sansa, Arya. Like they're all different.
Yeah. Now you have Rhaenys, Rhaenyra,
Aemond,
Daemon, Aemon,
Aegon,
Aerys.
Viserys. You
Yeah.
know, you have all these Targaryen names that I think are maybe harder for people to keep track of. I don't know. Maybe that's part of
As
it.
someone who does a very bad job at remembering names, I agree. It's very hard.
I know I have to correct you all of that.
Yeah. Because, like, I don't know, the dude with the white hair, one of them.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna start calling him freaking Patchy and the crazy girl.
Spider Girl.
Spider. Yeah, yeah, there we go. Spider Girl. Spider Girl. I think she's gonna be like the Luna Lovegood.
She's got love
She
good
seems,
vibes.
you're right? She seems like crazy, but then all of her prophecies are going to
That's the
be right.
inbreeding
Mm.
coming out. That's the
And
inbreeding coming out.
oh, that was another thing. I didn't say it. The fucking foreshadowing from her.
Yeah. There's
There's a
something.
beast under the floorboards.
Yeah.
What came up from the floorboards? A fucking beast.
Yep, yep.
And a dragon.
Yeah. She predicted it. She did. She had a dragon dream.
Yeah.
And
That's what I
Targaryens
mean.
are
She's
known to do
not
that.
crazy.
No, she's not crazy. She's like Cassandra. She has the gift of the sight. Trelawney. She's got the gift of sight, and no one listens to her because they think she's cuckoo.
Exactly. I
Um,
mean, it would help if she wasn't like killing spiders and, you know, doing all that, but
I don't think she kills them. I think she just looks at them.
no, I thought she killed that one.
Oh, did she kill
Yeah.
it? Oh. Um,
Maybe she didn't. Maybe I'm wrong.
Lord of the Rings can get difficult with names too. Yeah.
That's true. That is true.
I mean, in Lord of the Rings, not only does every character have a name, but then they also have a name in every other language.
Yeah, I'm not even bothering with that.
Like Gandalf has like 5 different names.
Gandalf, Frodo, Bilbo, Sam. I'm good. That's all I need. That's all you need. And honestly, so if you are struggling to remember the names, really all you need to remember is Damon, Aemon,
Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra. I was gonna say Rhaenys at first, and it just got mixed up.
Try again. Aemond.
Aemon, Damon, I can't do it now. Rhaenyra, uh, Alicent, and that's really it. Those are like your main characters that are going to be focused on. I mean,
Otto.
if it's going by the book, he should start becoming less of a factor, though.
He should be.
And Aegon, he still kind of plays a role. I feel like Aegon's easy to remember.
Yeah, Aegon. Should be.
So there's like 5 main characters you really need to worry about. Everyone else is just kind of meh. They do play a role, but you don't. If you want to just keep track of the story, they're not that important.
Yeah, yeah, if you're really looking, yeah. If you're looking for
And
I thought I heard something.
oh yeah, Kristen is the easiest to remember because he actually had an introduction. Nothing. Yeah, pointless killing. The guy is just crazy.
He's a fanatic. That's he's a zealot. That's the problem. He's a zealot. And props to the commander of the Kingsguard being like, "Yeah, no, I'm not going to just go kill people because you guys want to usurp the throne.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing that."
Where was that guy during Robert's Rebellion?
Sir Barristan is that guy. Except
Oh
he
yeah,
got
he was.
fired.
Yeah. So maybe he did refuse. So good guy, Sir Barristan. I don't really think there was much else I want to talk about though.
There are probably tons of other things that I could talk about. I think we pretty much covered it. Like the white worm, Varys, good of the people thing.
Yeah.
Alicent starting to usurp her father's power. Um, like Kristen's a d bag. He's
Mm.
crazy.
So basically, to summarize this episode, Alicent and Otto have manipulated the system in order to place Aegon on the throne. Uh, Rhaenys is a total badass, and she says, fuck you to all that. I'm gonna go tell Rhaenyra, and then we'll be back. We'll see what happens. And
Yep.
now she's gonna go tell Rhaenyra, and basically all hell is gonna break loose.
Yep.
So that was what happened this episode.
Pretty much.
They basically lit the fuse
Yeah.
to the time bomb.
Yeah.
So now we just gotta wait till next episode to see how big of an explosion it is.
Um, the die was cast.
Yeah, Rhaenys is the dragon rider.
Yes.
She is the queen that never was. She was supposed to be the queen, but because Viserys has a dick, he became king.
Yep.
She's actually Viserys' older brother.
Sister.
Older sister. I'm getting all confused right now. I'm tired. I'm sorry. It's late. So that brings into another light just how awful Viserys looked, how bad he was doing. Because
Yeah.
Rhaenys, I mean, she looked fucking great. She's ready to go to war.
She would have been a hell of a queen too.
Yeah, she would have. I feel like that's part of what they're trying to get across too.
Yeah.
It's like she obviously would have been the better suit,
Yeah.
but because
Because she's a woman.
uh-huh.
It's always, and it's just still rings true today. You're still a woman. You're still just a woman.
Yeah.
It's still like that.
Another little girl that the king refused to then may the dragon burn her because her cervix closed up. Yes. That would be her.
Yes.
So I guess if you wanted to be grossed out a little bit more, Viserys was supposed to marry not only a 12-year-old, but his niece.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Good thing his daughter did that
welcome
instead.
to Westeros.
Good thing his brother did that instead. Right?
He didn't do that. She wasn't 12. She was like 16 when he tried to take advantage of her. It's different. Totally different. It's
but
not
still
different. It's still absolutely creepy,
but still same familial ties.
yes.
That's what I meant.
Damn Targaryens.
Too many people think that the worst man is better than the best woman. Exactly.
Yeah.
And this show is just showing it over and over and over and over. Like, she's absolutely fantastic. She's smart. She's strong. She's independent. She's really great. But you know what? This guy over here, he's an absolute piece of shit. But we'd rather have him than a woman.
Yeah.
Aegon has to be the king. Why? Why can't Rhaenyra be the queen? Because her emails.
Because her emails?
Yeah, it's like this. It's like the same thing. That's why people couldn't vote for Hillary because of her emails.
Oh.
Like
Because of her ravens.
Yeah.
Per my last raven.
But anyway.
Anyway,
That's pretty much
basically all
it.
I
Those
got.
are like my first impressions. I'm just still like, holy shit, that dragon broke through the fucking floor and flew away. And it was awesome. And it was cool. It was a big fucking cool ass dragon. And it was awesome. Melee's looks awesome.
It was such a good episode.
It was.
really was.
It was so good. Can't wait till next week to see the next one.
But
Can't
you will
wait.
not have to wait that long to see us again because Thursday we're going to be going through Chamber of Secrets.
That's right. So join us on
Next
Thursday
episode.
where we will look at the illustrated edition of the second Harry Potter book.
until then, hope everyone has a good night, and we will see you then.
Follow your dreams.